Most modern cameras can do a cracking job in the right hands, so one of the first tips we give to newbies looking to buy their first camera is get your hands on it. What fits for one person might not be a good fit and feel for the other. If you're a long-time subscriber, you'll know that although I started my X series life with the X100S and the Pro 1 and loved them both, I eventually grew into the XT range, traveling a lot with the XT10, T20, T30, and working with the T1, 2, 3, and now the 4. So whilst I'm more than happy to shoot with almost any X series body, my fit is clearly the XT range. So today's Fujifilm X-E4 is a good example of what I'm trying to get across. This is a camera that may well be almost perfect to some. I mean, look at it. It is a beautiful little thing. But then again, it might not be the right fit and feel for others. So in this video, we're going to take a look at it up close, maybe throw up some random unedited samples and just talk about the pros and cons of this model, how I feel about it, and then more importantly, it will be over to you in the comment section below. So let's crack on. It's a solid chunk. If you've had your hands on the X100V, it's a similar experience. It's obviously styled to go along with the X100V. Very, very nice, simple, clean, minimalistic, which therein may lie the problems. Now we'll go into a few of the highlights with the specs shortly, but just to give you a little run through of what it's like itself, everything clicks along nicely. There's no pull out there. Very standard shutter Fujifilm. Now that is nice, not a leaf shutter for those wondering. This exposure compensation dial is a little bit easy to knock out. Function button there, quick button there, fine. On this side, we've now got a drive, delete, play, and the AEL and AFL, the focus lock, is in the same spot right there. Sensor there, the EVF sticks out decent. This diopter adjustment also a bit easy to knock out. We've got a little joystick down there, which is fine. I think some prefer it to be back up there. And then you've got these two buttons, which they're okay. They don't click at all, but they're sure enough once you use it. Just switch it on so you can see how quick it is. It's good to go real quick. There we go. Now touch screen isn't working in the menus typically, but is very good in shooting mode once you've got it turned on, of course. Now if we flick through the menu, you can see it's standard affair for Fujifilm. Something that is very interesting, however, is this screen, how well it's implemented. Look at that, it's very, very flush, real nice, and you can pop it out, get it to waist level sort of shooting style. Sorry about the crazy light. And there you go. Now there is a problem once you're shooting out like this, and that's that the eye sensor, even at this distance, will flip it because it lets you pop it all the way out for a sort of selfie mode kind of deal. But that eye sensor, we'll have to talk about that in a moment. Also this mechanism, you don't want to be too rough with that. It feels kind of funky, as you can see there, but you have to be very careful, especially with that ribbon there. Sorry, X-E4, didn't mean to abuse you that much, but all is decent. Now if we flick over to this side, got a few important ports: HDMI, USB-C for charging, and also you get a headphone adapter, so you can use that for monitoring your audio. And you've got the mic and remote there. Nice 3.5mm jack. On this side, nothing. Do note that these have changed. I don't mind. I'm just using it with the standard Fujifilm strap for now, as I'm just using this as a loner, so I don't need to go too crazy putting my Peak Design gear on. But you know, obviously I could have, but my Peak Design is too fat for this really. 126 battery in there, SD in there, fairly decent Shure lock, nice metal quarter screw there, and of course the hot shoe there. Nice, beautiful bit of Kit comes in about $799 body only, or $949 with the XF 27mm, which we'll look at next week, which actually I think is a real good price if you're after that lens too. Yeah, very nice. Let's get the cons out of the way then. The grip is gone, and the focus select switch, and the rear control dial too. Also, something that I thought would have been adjusted by now via firmware is a problem where when you shoot with the screen at 90 degrees, the screen image will flip if you're too close to the EVF sensor. Now, it's very annoying. Of course, it's set up to aid the selfie mode, but it's far too sensitive. You have to pull the screen out a bit first, then set it to 90 degrees to avoid it. Not ideal at all. But of course, it's not all bad news. We've now got an extended ISO range to take advantage of. That flexible screen fits flush. Might be a bit awkward to get used to at first when it comes to flipping it out, but it's very well hidden away. Real nice bit of design there, Fujifilm. Of course, we've got the latest sensor, processor, the latest hybrid autofocus system as well. We've got better autofocus point options. So as the IQ is basically the same as my workhorse X-T4, I don't really need to say much more than I already have on other videos. Needless to say, on that front, the internals, love it. We've also got slightly improved burst shooting. Video has been beefed up a bit. We've got DCI 4K 30 frames per second with no crop, up to 200 megabits per second. Longer clip recording than the E3. Better slow motion, F-Log, as well as 10-bit 422. Oh, and a tally light, which can be very handy. This can be powered and charged via USB 2. You know, it's a solid little chunk of a camera that's pretty cool to look at. I find that exposure compensation dial a bit prone to knocking out of place, but overall, what is included is done so with the usual top quality that we expect from Fujifilm. In summary then, the most important stuff is better, but this is where it comes down to getting your hands on it and seeing how it feels to you. As a daily driver, I found the X-E4 more comfortable and practical, but this has the IQ, AF, and almost a video potential of the X-T4, minus, you know, IBIS, weather resistance, stuff like that. Now you could add a grip or a thumb rest, or just enjoy the very minimal look and feel. It is a very cool little camera, but for me, I always feel like something is missing when I use it. Now, if you love the X100V as we do on this channel, but you want to use different lenses, then this could be a very good option to own alongside your X100V. Of course, I'd happily travel with any X series camera, including this one, but personally, this X-E4 isn't changing my preference anytime soon for the T range, with love to the Pro and the H lines, which offer both a different feel while giving first-rate experience nonetheless. You know, these are all fantastic cameras. So 08, I know a lot of you that I respect love this camera, but it's not for me overall. Maybe if it comes in at the right price, maybe. Mind you, as it's the smallest X series interchangeable lens camera, it comes in at that fairly decent price, around $799 or under $1,000 with the XF 27mm in the kit option, which is superb value, all things considering. In fact, we'll be looking at that XF 27mm, this one right here, closer in the next video, but it's now over to you in the comment section below. I'll see you there.